What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the ICECO APL55 12 volt fridge freezer. So they actually sent me this fridge a few weeks ago and I've been using it on camping trips in the back of the 80, and I just want to show you guys how I got it set up before we dive into some details. So basically I'm using my EcoFlow River Pro, and it's just a 719 watt hours I think, and it ends up powering this thing just fine for the weekend. I don't have to worry about battery bank running low, and what I also do is plug in my cord from my battery bank to the cigarette outlet on the truck, so when the truck is running it's actually charging this battery bank as well. That being said, this thing has not used much power. The other weekend it wasn't necessarily hot, but I had my battery bank in there and we were driving around all day and all that stuff, and my battery bank never got below 95% the whole weekend. So this thing is very efficient and I don't think it ends up using much power. I have it oriented in here because when you open the lid, you can reach in there and get whatever you need. It doesn't open from the side like you see most fridges do. Sometime here in the future, I actually may end up moving the fridge up to here with one of those tilt slides so I can pull it down and access it that way. But for now, I like where it's sitting at. All right, so I'm gonna get this thing unhooked. We'll bring it in the garage and we'll dive into some of the details about this thing. First, let's take a look at what comes in the box. Of course, you get your refrigerator, you get your owner's manual, and then they do give you some spare parts. So this is an extra plug for the bottom of the fridge. We got some extra latches, some rubber feet, and then these are corners on the side of the fridge. So if you ever damage them, these are made to protect, but if you ever do get one that gets damaged, they do give you some extras. Then of course we get our cord that plugs into the wall in the house, so you can have this thing inside and running off your regular wall outlet, as well as our 12 volt cord. So that's what we're using, plugs into a cigarette lighter. We got it plugged into our EcoFlow over there and then plugged right in to our ports. So this is where you plug up and power the fridge. We got DC, AC, and then actually these are some USB ports. So if you have this in the back of your truck, you can charge some phones and all that good stuff. They do also give you another option to make your DC in on the opposite side of the fridge, as well as some more USB ports. So no matter how this thing is oriented in your truck, you got the ability to plug it in on either side for whatever suits you best. This thing's coming in at 19 inches tall, 19 inches wide, and then 29 inches long. So compared to a regular size fridge, it is a little larger, but you gotta remember this is a 55 quart fridge, and also it has some nice thick insulation in there to help maintain temperature. Weight-wise, it's coming in at 55 pounds. So it does add a little bit of weight, but for the convenience that a fridge offers while you're out camping, I think the extra weight's worth it. For the exterior here, all the hardware such as the hinges are all aluminum. We got some aluminum spring-loaded handles, so you can see it's got some return to it. Our latches on the front of the fridge here are aluminum as well, and they give you a nice positive latch so you know that it's shut. We'll go ahead and open this up. Got our aluminum handle here. Here we're taking a look at the inside of the fridge. So I mentioned that this was a dual zone fridge, but it actually can be single zone as well. All you have to do is simply remove this divider, and now you end up with a single zone fridge. And I'll show you the screen. The screen actually changes with the divider as you move it. So you see here, our freezer side is set to 15. Our fridge side is set to 37. Go ahead and remove our divider, and it auto defaults to a single zone. You don't have to change anything in the settings or anything like that. And then you can either keep or remove your baskets to help sort all your stuff. Another thing they did a good job of on this fridge was lighting. So we got a light on both sides. It's a nice clean white light. We don't have a light on just one side that's gonna illuminate just this bit, because you can imagine if the light was just over here, it'd probably end up being dark over here and not being able to see. So I do like how they put two different lights. If you do have it in the fridge freezer mode, you will be able to see whatever you got going on in there. Something else they have on the front of the fridge here is actually a little light. So we got white, and then you can change to this mode, and it kind of fades in and out of a white and a blue. So if you just have this sitting in the back of your truck at camp at night, this can kind of create a little ambient lighting, or maybe it'll light up a little table space or something you got right here. I mean, it's not the brightest thing in the world, and it's kind of more of a cool factor. I don't think it draws much more power as they're just LEDs, so you're not going to worry about this thing draining your battery just because it's got a fancy light on here. Also, you can just shut it off. Another really cool feature of this fridge is actually the soft close lid. So you can just let it go and it won't slam. So even if it accidentally shuts, you're not going to end up pinching your fingers. I put some beers in here just so you guys can see. That is a 12 pack of beer. So you can imagine you could probably fit another 12 on top of that. And then you still have this whole other side for food. So you can arrange this however you'd like. It's gonna hold plenty of beer, plenty of food, plenty of drinks, whatever you need. Obviously, if you remove the divider and both baskets, you're gonna net your most space. This kind of goes back to the insulation. I mean, this is pretty thick. That's probably close to like 2.5 inches or so. So this thing has been known to retain its temperature very well. So that kind of goes back to the efficiency thing. It's not gonna have to run as much with all this insulation, which obviously brings the efficiency up. Now we'll take a look at our display here and what all our buttons do. So the snowflake, when it's on green, that is on an eco mode. So it's going to be the most eco-friendly as far as how it's using your battery. I'd imagine it'll let it get a little bit above temp before it actually kicks on. You hold it, now our blue light's lit, and it's going to be on max. So max mode, it's probably going to do everything it can to keep these at the exact temperatures that you have set. Here on our display, it also shows us our battery voltage. So this is just whatever's supplying the power for this, that's the current battery voltage. If you got it hooked up to your truck, you'll be able to see what your battery is currently at. Here we got our zone indicators. So this would say that the side that's closest to us is our 15 degree, and then the side that's further from us is the 37 degree. To adjust those temperatures, go ahead and hit your settings button, and then we got our plus and minus. So on our freezer side, you can go all the way down to, I believe, -4. Let's see. Yeah, you can go all the way down to -4 and have it set there. And we'll go ahead and kick it over to here. And obviously when I move to this is showing current temp. You heard the fridge kick on, so now it's doing what it can in max mode to bring this thing down to -4. We'll go back to our other setting here and we'll see what the max is. I believe it's 64. Okay, so 68 degrees is the max. I'm not sure what you'd want to keep specifically at 68 degrees, maybe some sort of fancy wine or something like that. But you do have the option to set it a lot higher if you don't want something super cold down in the 30s. Next in our menu, between our two adjustments, now we got our display brightness. So you can adjust how bright you want your screen to be. It auto dims after a little while. Then next on our setting, this is your battery saver. So basically there's different levels. That's going to be the lowest level, so it's going to run the fridge until the battery reaches a certain voltage before it actually cuts the fridge off to save it. And then that's the mid-level, and then that's the third level. Next, you can change from Fahrenheit to Celsius if you wish. This is the beep, so you can turn it on. I turned it off just because I don't want this thing beeping at me every time I'm adjusting it. We got our Bluetooth mode, that probably puts it in pair mode. ICECO does have an app so you can monitor your fridge in its current status, even if you're not next to it. And yeah, so that about wraps it up as far as all the settings go. Okay, so here I'm gonna go ahead and connect my phone via the app. I actually hadn't even downloaded it yet. I just went on the App Store and typed in ICECO. Let's see, and it should be scanning nearby. Let's see, picked up our fridge. Go ahead and add that. Let's see, we got APL55. Okay, so just as simple as that. Now we got a display on our phone, so say we're not even standing near the fridge and we're off somewhere else, we can still check, as long as you're within Bluetooth range, what your fridge is at. I believe you can also do some adjustments. So let's see. Yeah, so that's set at -4, but we can go ahead and turn it up if we'd like. We can toggle between max and eco. We can turn it on and off. And then there's even some more settings you can change from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Just basically everything you could do with the actual screen, you can also do with the app. And it seems like the app is nice and simple and intuitive and easy to use. In my opinion, the construction overall seems nice and quality. Just like all the other ICECO products, they use a ICECO compressor, which comes with a 5-year warranty on the compressor itself. And then there's a 1-year warranty on fridge and all the other accessories on it. They do sell this fridge in a nice silver finish or a black. I opted for the black because I think it looks really cool. And actually, you can see this finish on this thing is actually kind of shiny. You can almost see a reflection in it. It's kind of like a dull brushed look in a way. Of course, you can see fingerprints on it. Like I said, I have been using this thing for a few weeks now. Been on a few camping trips. It's got a few scratches and stuff already. You can see in my truck, it was rubbing up against something there. I think on my lid, I got some more scratches, and I think there's even some mud. Yeah, there's some mud on this side from when we were out riding the other day. They don't necessarily advertise this, but this is like aluminum, I guess they're tie downs. If you wanted to tie some sort of cooking bag on top of this, you can maybe have a utensil bag that's always on top and easy to get to, that stays when you open and shut the fridge. It also looks like you can put a lock on this. So you can see this is all the way through. You open it up. So maybe for some reason you want to lock it, keep your kids out if you got beer in there or something like that and you don't want them getting into it. Just to give you guys an idea on power consumption. So right now it's pulling down. We're at 8 degrees now. I think we started at 15, but I had this lid open for a while. This is on our EcoFlow. So right now, as it's cooling down, we're pulling somewhere around 70, 80 watts. And this is on the max mode. So this is not on Eco. So this is pulling whatever it can to make this happen. So right now EcoFlow says it can maintain this battery pull with 87% for 8 more hours. Obviously, once it gets up to temp and it stops and maintains, it's not constantly running. So the thought here is it only runs every once in a while to maintain. So this runtime is gonna go way up when the fridge is not actually actively trying to cool. Okay, as you can see, I went ahead and set the temp to 6 degrees and now it's not pulling any power and it shows 99 hours. So it's only gonna really draw power when the compressor itself is on. All right guys, so that's my review on the ICECO APL55. Like I said, I've used their other products in the past. This isn't the first ICECO product that I'm familiar with. I actually have their VL45 Pro S in the house and that thing actually runs 24/7. It's been running 24/7 for probably over a year now. It's actually what we keep beer in inside the house. And that one's been on plenty of trips. It's been to the beach. It's been to Colorado. It's been to Wyoming. It's been to Utah. It's been a lot of places and it has never let me down. So whenever they reached out to me and wanted me to do a video and I could actually end up upgrading my fridge, I was all ears and really happy to do it. I think ICECO is a good company. I got a few buddies that have ICECOs as well, and none of us have had any issues at all compared to some other brand names out there that we've all personally had issues with besides ICECO. So if you're interested in checking out what they got, they have a whole bunch of options when it comes to fridges. They don't just have this one. They got bigger ones, they got smaller ones, they got different styles. So you can go on over to their website, and if you go to check out, when you go to buy one, use the code ADV4x4 and you'll get 12% off your order. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.